Here we have Hill, New Hampshire. However, this isn't where the town started. If you look right over here, this road, this is Old Hill Village.
Hill post, which will be the...
Alright everyone, we're now back. We were here over a month ago and it was a rainy day, so we didn't get to really do much. So I'm just remaking this video. This is Old Hill Village, and it was an old village that was abandoned or relocated, moved back in the 1930s for flood control, and it's known to be haunted as well. So we're going to be exploring this, and right behind me I think is where it starts, and we're just going to be walking along the pathway here. Yeah, hold on, I just want to get this on video. So here's the little post sign thing, whatever you want to call it. It says Old Hill Village, so this must be where it starts. And we're going to be working our way that way. Alright everyone, I actually walked back more from where I started. So I backtracked just a little bit and we found this. I'll read that for you guys. Look at that big spider right there. Nice wolf spider. I'll read it for you guys. Although there were several farms north of here, the eddy marked the northern extent of the village. In the spring, the high waters often built up here and separated Hill from Bristol for days at a time. Later, the railroad would also be closed, and finally, in 1936, the damage was so extensive that the railroad was never rebuilt. Since there was also low land south of the village, which was inundated, residents frequently were forced to travel up Sand Hill Road and later Mill Hill Road to the hill center to reach road still open. During one such flood, Ernest Roby stalled his truck attempting to drive over a flooded section. He unloaded the oxen he was carrying and used them to pull the truck to higher ground. So over here, there's a really pretty, I think this is I don't know if this is a reservoir or a lake or exactly what it is, but this is what they were talking about in that plaque. It's really pretty right here. There's some people fishing on the boat over there. Looks like a good fishing spot. So this is what that plaque was talking about. And now we're gonna go back to where I actually started the video and go back the other way from there. There's a plaque that we were just reading, and I also wanted to show you guys. I'm assuming this is like a mile marker or something, but it looks pretty old and pretty cool, so I just wanted to show it off in the video. F8 B5, no idea what any of this means. but looks cool. Some kind of mile marker or something from back in the day. Okay, so here's back where we started the video, and now we're going back this way where the rest of Old Hill Village is. Alright, so here is where the old elementary school was, right there. So I'm going to read that to you guys. Look how cool that looked. That doesn't even look old in this picture. I mean, it wasn't old in this picture, but it doesn't look like an old building architecture. In the early day, there were 10 or more school districts in Hill. Starting in 1813, schoolhouses were built in several of these districts, which endured until the 1800s when the districts consolidated. In 1909, a substantially large schoolhouse was built on this site, and in 1910, the town reduced its school buildings to the one in Hill Center, and this one in the village. The Hill Center School closed in 1923. The road beside the school, known as School Street, later known as Sand Hill Road, was an early route to Hill Center. Today, the building serves as the town library in the new village next to the current Jenny D. Blake Elementary School. Attached to the back is town offices and police department. So it sounds like they ended up moving the building.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So I wonder if where we just came through right there was the road that I was just reading about.
Maybe, yeah.
Because we just went down this back road, this little trail to see where it went, and we came out right here. So that must have been the original road that we were on. And down here, guys, is a mile marker. I think it says 3 miles.
3 miles, yep.
3 mile marker. But we're going this way. We're coming from this way and going this way.
Alright, we're back. Still exploring, but we're actually...
Alright, so this is
bridge.
the bridge that really goes into the rest of the Old Hill Village, which is where all the places are that we're going to be checking out. So right here you can see the plaque coming up. We'll read that to you guys, and there's 2 more right on the other side up there. It says George Sumner House. So that was right here somewhere. George Sumner, who came to Newchester in 1816, built a brick house here on the east side of Main Street. This must be Main Street right here. In 1826, the road beside the house ran down past the cemetery to another ferry site. Across the street, Sumner had a carding shop, which was carried away in a flood in 1824. The townsfolk took up a collection to help him rebuild. Over the ensuing years, several industries occupied the 2 shop buildings on the west side of the street, Forby's Tannery and Carding Shop, and later, in 1874, the Williams and Eaton Cabinet Organ Shop were in one. The second building was occupied by John L. Mead Furniture, and later carriages were repaired here as well. Later, one of the shops was converted to apartments. In 1918, the Woodward Dam on Mill Brook, now Needle Shop Brook, broke. The apartment building was swept off its foundations, and an elderly resident drowned. Rumors abounded that the Germans had sabotaged the dam. Pretty interesting. So, report of 1 death.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's crazy. So this is the bridge, and this is the brook that we were just reading about. So I'll show you both sides. Really pretty. And now we'll look at the other side that the house was on. Very pretty. And this is the old sidewalk too, by the way, guys. That's still running down here from back when it used to be a town. It runs all along the whole area. I forgot to show you guys that. And then over here, there's two more plaques. Two people on horses coming down, it looks like. Oh no, they're not on horses, but there are horse people around here who saw horse tracks and horse poop. So this right here is the access road to access this location, which we'll go back up later because there's something there that I want to show you guys, the old dam up there. But we'll go back, I'll show you guys that on the way back out. So here is Mill Hill and Water Power. So that was right here somewhere. The availability of water power along Mill Brook, later known as Needleshot Brook, which I just showed you, was the earliest and most important factor in the emergence of a village in Hill. As new shops and jobs attracted many away from farms, this mill site was originally developed by Samuel Dearborn as a sawmill and later a grist mill. In 1872, Frank R. Woodward started manufacturing latch needles here for the knitting industry, but sold the site to G.H. Adams. Woodward moved upstream and built a new dam and shop to make his famous glass cutter. Houses for mill workers as well as several shops huddled on the steep slope until 1841. The road along the brook provided another link to Hill Center. That's what we just read. And over here, there's another plaque. Carr Hughes House. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Pretty good. On this site stood the Hughes House, built in 1810 by Carr Hughes, who was the second settler in the area, 1770. This property, which extended westward to the Hughes Mountain, included the site of the present village, remained in the Hughes family until 1941. Harrison Morrill's blacksmith shop, later owned by Vern Straw, was located across from the Hughes house for many years and was swept away in the Woodward Dam failure in 1918. The Mushroom, a small cafe, was built here in the 1920s, serving lunches and ice cream. Lunches and ice cream. Very interesting. I want to see what's back here. If there's anything back here. Really deep into the bush now. Just want to see if this leads to any of the ruins or foundations to these buildings. So that's what we're looking for, is the remainders of the buildings. But I don't know how far back I want to go, but we'll see. Don't think I want to go too much further. I'll go right up here and then I'll turn around. So I don't see anything, so I'm just gonna go back this way. I don't see anything, but I just wanted to check it out, you know. I saw that there was a path here. I don't, yeah, it's just overground, but I was hoping that it would lead to like some type of an old foundation or something, but it's really hard to tell. I don't know exactly how far back the house exactly would have been either, so
Yeah, for sure. I
I don't,
wonder. I probably would have been further actually, but it's too overgrown to really kind of tell.
it is, yeah.
Like, I wonder even if you went down like to that V
I mean, it
shape
did say
there.
they moved this house as well, went into a
Yeah,
new,
they did.
so
Yep.
might not be anything, any remnants might not be there anymore. All right, let's continue this way. There's a bunch more stuff down here. All right, we are now at the next plaque, historical plaque. So this was the H Academy Hall and the Woodward's house. So you see that? Set back from the street on the west side was the Academy Hall, built in 1832 as a District Number 1 schoolhouse. It later housed a library and selectman's office and was used for town meetings after the new elementary school was built in 1909. That was the elementary school that I showed you guys earlier. Unknown persons attempted unsuccessfully to set it on fire in 1887. An elaborate town fountain with drinking water for human consumption on top, horses and pets with different levels below, stood in front of the hall. The fountain was relocated to Commerce Street in the new village. Across the street in the 1940s was the Parker and Little store. In the 1870s, Woodward started his glass cutter business here, but moved it to Mill Hill after a fire. He replaced this shop with a large, impressive house on the right in 1876 and lived here until his death in 1931. So, this is, I guess there was a house here, and maybe behind us here is one of the other houses.
Maybe.
Or if, were they next to each other? It's hard to tell. It says right, left. I think they were on this side, both next to each other on this side. It's what it seems like from what we read. So let's go back down this way where we're heading, the direction we're heading in, because there is a lot more coming up. All right, here is another historical location where a building once was. Let's see what it says. The hotel. The hotel. So G, the hotel. The hotel, Dr. Vale's Water Cure. The hotel started as an inn in the 1840s and in the 1860s was home of Dr. William Vale's Water Cure. The spring can still be located in the present village near the ball field. The therapeutic waters attracted many people to Hill, including Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of Christian Science. The hotel was later converted to apartments, centrally located on the relatively flat stretch of Main Street. Many came here on Saturdays to witness horse trotting races, Rosses. In the 1880s, indeed, horses and trainers came from the surrounding towns. The wagers were made and refreshments were served at the hotel. Very interesting.
It is.
It was somewhere, it was right here.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Now, keep going down this way. I already see the next couple of plaques coming up. I'll just keep recording. And that way I can still show you guys a little bit of the walk as well. Because this is a really cool roadway to take a walk down. if you guys ever get a chance to come here and explore it for yourselves, I highly recommend it because we're just diving into history here with loads of amazing information. So here's the next plaque. Stores and shops. Foster's, later Parsons Grocery Store, was built in 1897. Further north on the west side of the street was Kimpton's Drugstore, built in 1923. Later relocated to Newchester Road in the New Village. On the east side to the north was Moses Little Store, built in 1887. Opposite Kimpton's, the Asa Prescott Place, built in 1788, was an early inn. In 1873, a large barn was added as a livery stable, which later became F.R. Woodward's Novelty Works when electric power freed manufacturing from Millbrook, later known as Needle Shop Brook, and access to the railroad was needed for shipping orders. East of Prescott's barn was Frank Foster's Grain Store, pictured on the left, built in 1808. In 1815, gasoline was sold here, and Hill had its first gas station. In 1919, Foster opened his garage and gas station on Main Street north of the site of Little Moses store. That's pretty cool. So
That's really cool.
somewhere back here. And over here is the next plaque. We'll go down that path and see where it goes after we read this. And there's another plaque down there. A railroad depot. The railroad came to Hill in 1848 when the Bristol branch was built from Franklin to Bristol. The station pictured on the left was built 6 years later in 1854. At times, the building also provided a grocery store, a post office, an ice cream parlor, and an apartment for a section hand's family. The section house to the south was used for supplies and tools to maintain the track. Across the road, a storage house was used by Pearson's store. In the 1870s, it was reported that 3,000 cords of firewood were shipped from this depot to southern New England. After 1936, when the railroad stopped service, the section house was used by the selectmen for an overnight lodging for transient people. This building was the first building relocated to the New Village site and was used as an office by the State Planning and Development Commission. Later, it was relocated near the town well on Coles Flat. The side street to the station was divided by a median upon which the Veterans Monument, in picture on right and lower left corner, the Veterans Monument is now located at the flagpole by the pond in the New Village. So let's have a look at these pictures again. Really cool. So as I said, I want to go down this path that we see right here. So you see the old sidewalk is still here. Don't know how far we want to go, but this looks like people have come down here to explore. So we're going to do, oh, there's a foundation or something. Oh, here we go. Is that a wall? Hold on, I'm gonna go. There's a thorn bush here, watch out. There's some thorns right here. I don't want to go too further. But Yeah. So there's something.
Yeah.
Remnants of an old building.
Now, there's a hill there over behind the wall.
Yeah. So,
That's cool.
anyways, going this way and see if this brings us out into anything interesting. Can't get in, or I can there's probably a way to, I'm not gonna force my way through here, but it won't be, well, oh yeah, we can go around this way, it looks like, yeah. Yeah, there we go, it works.
Oh, so you got it?
Yep. Okay, here we are. This looks where the railroad, okay.
We're gonna pass this way
Yeah,
and that way.
yeah. So I think this is the railroad, where the railroad was, or something.
Yeah.
Like we were saying. Yeah, there's
Remnants of the...
some pavement area, right? So this is where the station was.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was just on like up to the...
Yeah. Well, let's go back to the main roadway and continue our journey. All right, now here back out at the main road. There's the last plaque that I read. And the next one is right up here. And last time we were here, I believe that last time we were here, this is the last place we left off because the rain got really bad.
That's why it was raining after we were here. So it was just downpouring. We left early.
I have video from that, but I'm not going to share it because I figured it would just be better to remake it when it wasn't raining.
I'm not sure
So,
on its own.
right. So here is churches. 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 A house divided. Caterpillar made a cocoon there. Thank you, Caterpillar. I can't even read it. Okay. In 1885, Frank R. Woodward erected a building for a post office, store, and hall to serve as a meeting place for the Hill Christian Society, in which he was very active. In 1886, he added an apartment block to the building. But in August of 1887, the entire building was destroyed by a fire. A month later, the original church, located in the Hill Village, burned down under suspicious circumstances. A fire also set in the Academy Hall. Woodward wrote a column in the Merrimack Journal implying that George Sumner was responsible for these fires. The ensuing libel suit divided the town and resulted in two churches being built as replacements. The Christian church on the left, built in 1888, stood on the site of Woodward's Hall. The Congregational church on the right was built the same year on the east side of the street and a bit to the north. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now we're going this way. Guys, looks like we have found our next plaque.
And a rock wall.
And an old foundation. Look at the stone wall, the steps. So, see the steps right there?
Oh, yeah.
Lane's Print Shop and Cawley's Mill. Roscoe Lane's Print Shop, picture on the left, was on the west side of the street where he printed town reports from 1896 and 1940. Mr. Lane was also known for his many photographs of the town and its people. This shop was moved to the new village currently serves as the post office on Commerce Street. Cawley's Mill, pictured on the right, was located at the east end of Sawmill Road near the mouth of Mill Brook, later known as Needleshot Brook, to capture the last bit of water power available. In the 1870s, the mill made oak felloes, the carved pieces of wagon wheels, which were shipped as far as San Francisco. The mill converted to steam power around 1900, but soon closed when it became apparent that when using steam power, it was more efficient to produce the oak fellows elsewhere. So let's kind of take a little look at this, guys. Look at this old steps. I don't think it goes to anywhere, but it's cool. Look at, go up these old steps. That is freaking cool. I am like geeking out majorly right now. Very overgrown here. I don't see anything else that looks interesting back here. Although I do see another piece of a foundation. Oh yeah, there's a foundation right here. Look at this. Listen, guys. You know, I'm gonna try my yeah, I'm gonna try something. All right. When I was coming out of that, I ended up dumping my whole bag of equipment out, and I had to retrieve it again. So I got everything, and we just read that. We were continuing down this path. Looks like there's another plaque right up here. Old stone wall here too. Oh, road, I don't know where that goes. Okay. Let's read this plaque. Look how gorgeous that area is. Hold on, let me zoom in so you guys can see that. I don't know, this looks like, look how lush this greenery is right here. Look at that. All right. Plaque is right here. The Blake House. Oh, someone carved something into the tree there. The Blake House on the left was built in 1819 by Colonel Ebenezer Webster, a relative of Daniel Webster. It was a two-story house. It was an elegant two-story colonial with shutters and wide board floors, located just north of the Franklin town line. It was a striking introduction to the main street uphill for travelers going north. This house was moved to the new village and is located on Newchester Road. Colonel Webster also operated a store across the street, which is well known for its free-flowing hard liquor. In the 1850s, it became a cooperative store ran by Division 341 of New England Protectionist Union. Later was moved northward on Main Street. In 1903, the house pictured on the right was built on the earlier store site and was home of Jenny D. Blake. This house was also moved to the new village at the north end of Newchester Road. So there's the houses. Cool.
Yes, here's the Blake House. Here.
And there's another plaque right here. It's really humid, guys. I'm having a hard time catching my breath. The Sanbornton Bridge. Don't know why I said that. Why I said that sounding like that. Okay. 4 different bridges stood here over 145 years. The first bridge was built in 1808 and was replaced in 1814 when it was carried off in a flood. The second bridge was a privately owned toll bridge until 1860. In 1865, an ice jam lifted the bridge off its abutments and carried the bridge downstream. The third bridge was a double arch covered bridge, but it was carried away in an ice jam in 1913. The fourth bridge was a steel truss bridge built on abutments 25 feet back from the former positions and 7 feet higher with a raised center pier. The bridge remained after the town relocated since it would not float during the flood storage operations, but was sold for scrap in 1952. 2 houses near the bridge were owned by the company which owned, tolled, and maintained the bridge. In the picture on the right, the White House was moved to the new village on Mountain View Drive. That's cool. Let's take a walk down here because it sounds like the bridge was over down here.
Yeah,
Let's take a walk down here a little bit and see what remains of the bridge. All right. So this is where the bridge once was. See the old road here, the old remnants of what was a road. And here we are. This is the bridge. See? Very clearly definitely was a bridge.
Yeah, because they have the middle section there.
Yeah.
And actually, it looks like over here, there's another trail on the other side.
Yeah.
That river goes in the little inlet there.
Yeah.
But I can see it.
It looks like there's a road or something else.
Yeah.
Across the street there. Okay. Let's zoom in. See right there, guys? I don't know what's across the street, but something leads to the other side of this bridge.
Yeah. I wonder if there's an actual footbridge over this river somewhere, but I doubt it, but it'd be cool if there was.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what's over there too.
Right? Yeah. I was kind of hoping there would be another, still be a bridge here so we can cross, but
yeah. Well, this is
whatever.
Cool.
Still cool to see.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Like look at these old screws into the pavement and just the structure is pretty sweet. All right. Oh, by the way, guys, Jesus loves you.
Well, love you.
Look at guy. Look at it's a little Easter newt, red effed stage. So these are the juveniles of the Easter newt, called the red F stage.
Nice.
And when these guys mature, they go in the water and they turn green, and they see those red spots on the back. So they keep those spots, but they turn green, and the tail turns more like a fin, so they can propel in the water, and then they breed and reproduce in the water.
That's cool.
Alright guys, we're back here at the bridge. This is the access road that we came to get down here, so we're heading this way back on the way out, and there's an old dam up here that I want to show you guys. And This is the, was it the Needle Shot Brook or whatever it's called that you can hear over here. There's remnants of something right there. Oh. Oh, here we go. This is probably what I was seeing in those pictures, maybe.
Yeah, there's more of a wall here.
Yeah.
And there's more of this right here.
I think this is actually might be where what I was seeing in those pictures
Yep.
online. Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
Look at this.
What is this though? What is this wall right there? And more like,
Look at that.
what is this?
That is so cool.
That's very cool. I wonder if it's part of the... Is this another brick? Oh, look at it, look.
Oh, yeah. Look at this, guys. Whoa. Look at. This is epic. Look at it. Look how majestic that is. That is awesome.
That's cool. I wonder if like when one time the bridge is gonna cross or something. That'd be a dope swimming hole.
Right? Okay. Maybe this is a good spot. Alright, guys. So the dam is right up here. That's all part of it right here. Alright guys, you can see, so this is the part of the dam that was here.
Are you gonna walk on it or no?
I'm gonna go down a little bit. This is the dam.